to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It is Thursday, May 26th, and here's what happened this week. Well, we had the OTB Open on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, an Elite Series event out in Stockton, California, and it was the last event that qualified players into the Match Play Championships coming up next month in Bailey, Colorado. We'll talk a little bit more about who got onto that Match Play Championship roster, who's going to get the invites in a little bit. But first, let's talk about what happened at the tournament. We'll begin on the MPO side, and it was a fascinating weekend. Early on, Ricky Wysocki back coming off of the knee swelling. It was still a problem for him throughout the tournament, but he really persevered, gets out to an early lead in round one. Simon Lizotte, he got the fireworks going early, throwing it in, calling for it to settle down, and it sure did. It settled right into the chains. Then we see him dialed in from the edge of the circle. He wasn't the only storyline early, though, about Aaron Gossage skipping it in. Gossage trying to make it back-to-back podium finishes. Your round one leader was Cody Kirkland, an Ultimate Frisbee convert, and he got out to the lead after round one. The big names were also showing out. Calvin Heimberg dialing up the beautiful backhand. Simon Lizotte trimming some branches, and that didn't cause any problems at all. Boom, he sticks it inside the circle. Calvin Heimberg, after the double bogey on 6, dialing up a few birdies in a row and keeping it going. Gossage was not slowing down. Skips it up, tucks it inside the circle. Then he goes to the forehand off the tee on hole 3. Can't really do it much better than that. So Aaron Gossage continuing his strong play of late. And then from outside 60 feet, Calvin Heimberg, he's now in third place. We're into the final round. But Simon Lizotte has the lead, trying to win his first tournament on the Elite Series since 2018. Another Circle 2 hit. Make it 2 in a row. Hole 13, he cans it, and he really holds on all tournament long to win for the first time in 1,541 days. It's the longest streak in DGPT Elite Series history, time between tournaments. Let's hear what Simon had to say after the event.
Yeah, so much has changed, of course. I'm turning 30 this year, so I'm one of the old guys now. And I've heard so many times that, golf's a mental game, of course, and my decisions on the course weren't always the best because I was like the show-off kid, and I kind of still am and still want to be, but my body says no, so got to tune it down a bit, 80% effort on all the throws, and with the discs I have, you can just a little hyzer flip, and I go just as far with less effort.
Fans around the world are excited to see Simon Lizotte back on top of the podium. It's been a long time coming. He told the Upshot podcast this week that he thinks his best disc golf days are still ahead of him. So great to see Simon back feeling mostly healthy and back on full-time tour. Over in FPO, it looked like it was going to be a weekend where Paige Pierce absolutely dominated. Right away in round one, Paige Pierce looking sharp. Over the water, bringing the disc right up inside the circle, almost parks it. Cashing in the putts. Lots of waving to the crowd for Paige Pierce. Then more of the same, in fact, even better in round 2. Cashing in the birdie on 13. Here's her upshot on 17. Airing it out. Testing the branches. Over the water. Gorgeous shot from Pierce. And she closes out the round with a 9-shot lead going into the final round on Sunday. It looked like it was all academic, but some other players keeping it interesting. Juliana Korver, playing at her first Elite Series event of the year, absolutely dialed in tee to green. Korver becomes the lowest PDGA number to ever podium at a DGPT event. And Natalie Ryan cashing in the early birdie on hole 2. Pierce still had a very sizable lead after the back nine, but Natalie Ryan said, well, I'm not going anywhere. She parks the upshot. On 12, she cashes in the birdie putt. Now it's a 3-shot lead for Pierce. Ryan trying to close the lead down to 2 on 13. Yes, right side chains, had to give a little lean for it. 14, tee shot. Skipping it off the green. Beautifully done from Ryan. She's parked again, and she closes the gap all the way down and ties it up with Pierce. So we go to 17. It's all tied up, 2 holes to play. Pierce, solid drive. Ryan, second shot on the par 4. Needs it to push, and it stays a bit short, and she goes in the water. Pierce able to just lay up to the basket, tap in for the par. Big putt for Ryan, not there. She would go on to take a double bogey, giving 2 strokes back to Pierce. It was an incredible run from Ryan to get to the point, coming back from 9 strokes down at the start of the round, but just came up a bit short on 17. Pierce able to close it out with the par putt on 18, getting yet another Elite Series win. Let's hear from Pierce after the W.
I'm so proud to be part of this era of disc golf and the Disc Golf Pro Tour where this is a new era. You know, there's live music going on, and I got teary-eyed last night watching this little kid and his father on the center of the dance floor, just like sharing the whole moment that they're going to live for forever. And I hope that, you know, Natalie feels that today, I feel that today, and everyone that was here. Remember the moments. Don't just think for the next moment ahead. So I feel great. I'm so happy to come out here to Stockton and be a part of this event. I truly think this is the next era of disc golf here at this event.
So Natalie Ryan nearly completing the largest comeback in DGPT history of 9 strokes, but cannot quite get the job done. Paige Pierce wins her 70th Elite Series Major or DGPT Championship event with the win at OTB. Now to our social media minute. Take a look at these graphics from DG Statman over on the R Disc Golf subreddit. Round ratings by player in both MPO and FPO, showing the distribution of round ratings since May of 2021. And you can see some players with higher variance, the boxes representing the 25th and 75th percentiles on the outside edges, 50th percentile at the middle hash mark. Paige Pierce, a little bit higher variance than Christian Tatar. Evelina Salonen has shown us a lot of different skills, right? The putting has been a problem for her. That pulls that left whisker much further down than many of the other top players in FPO. In MPO, well, look at the size of the variance for Paul Macbeth. And we've seen lately he's had a little bit of struggles in some rounds, but he's also shot incredibly hot at the beginning of this year. And as a result, he has one of the widest distributions of any of the players in the top 10. Lots of other strong players up near the top. And you can really see which players are able to extend that line out to the right and push for the wins on a regular basis. There will not be a Disc Golf Pro Tour event this weekend. We are waiting for the Portland Open, which is coming up next weekend. That'll be an Elite Series event. And then we'll have the Beaver State Fling, also in the Portland area, the following weekend on the Silver Series. The only major A-tier of note this weekend is Heinola, the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour event out in Europe. And we will see some top names out there, including Lauri Lehtinen and Nicholas Antila. But it's mostly an off weekend for the top pros in the United States this weekend. Some others may be playing at the SeaTac Takeoff or some other A-tiers around the country. That is going to do it for our show this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week right here on This Week in Disc Golf.